Now it's my great pleasure to introduce our first Vice President of the Indiana State USBC to start us off on our program, Alice A.J. Hacker. A.J., please.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen and fellow bowlers. It's so great to stand here and see so many of you come together to honor those who have served in some way the associations that they belong to. I have the honor tonight of doing the first part of our program, which is the recognition event for our current president. Let me tell you a little bit about Carrie. Carrie was at one time for about Carrie, 6, 7 years? He served as the 6th district director. Then he moved up to 3rd vice and so forth. And during the reign of our current president, John Brothers, had an unfortunate heart attack on the way home from the Open tournament. That left us without a president. So, in honor of a succession, Carrie became our president and served the final months of John's term. Then it was time for Carrie's turn as president. And once again, Carrie was elected and served his own term of president of the USBCBA. Okay. Then came the merge. Well, we were trying to put 3 different groups together, each one having its own values, many of them basically the same, but yet there were differences. We needed leadership. We needed strong leadership who cared about what happened to our bowlers and so forth. Carrie stepped to the front and said, I'll take that on. At that time, our bylaws call for the officers of the new merged USBC served 2-year terms. So once again, Carrie's at the helm, doing a tremendous job of putting us all together so that we work together. So we worked through our differences and came out with the best possible scenario, and we thank him for that. Carrie was a strong leader, continued to be. Then COVID hit. We all know about COVID. So here we are, we've got all our tournaments in place and everything is going well, and suddenly it's not. We had to cancel all our tournaments. We were heartbroken. The Open tournament had already started and they'd met 2 or 3 weeks, 5 weeks. Suddenly, no more Open tournament. There we were, it was about time for elections. We couldn't meet. We weren't allowed to be face-to-face. You couldn't have a meeting with over 2 or 3 people. Well, we asked Carrie, how about staying on another year, Carrie? You know, he was kind of like an old shoe. It was pretty comfortable. So we asked Carrie if he'd stay another year. And we as a board voted that we would all stay in our current positions until we were able to meet again and have an election. Carrie, we thank you so much for your leadership, your devotion to the sport, your excitement for our future. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it pleases me to have you meet the current president of the Indiana State USBC, Carrie King. At this time, Brian and I wish to present to Carrie his award for his years of service and his dedication to the sport. Thank you, Carrie. It's your turn, buddy.
Thanks, AJ, for those kind words. It's been a pleasure to serve the bowlers of the state of Indiana for the last 3 years as your president. We've had some trying times. I'm glad to see a very packed house tonight. We got 8 individuals here tonight that are very deserving of the Hall of Fame. I know most all of you, and it's an honor to call you Hall of Fame members. Before I start with this program off, I want to recognize my table. I got my cousin and her daughter here. Mike, take care of my girls, okay? And I'm glad my parents are here. They've had a rough couple of years. You mean the world to me. You're not here to hear me talk tonight. You got 8 people here. And that pride and passion they have, it's going to show tonight when they talk. So without further ado, let's get this thing started.
At this time, I would like to invite the second vice president. Here he comes. And the third vice president, Miss Linda Isaacs. Bill Kendall and Linda, will you join me for the memorial service? If you would, please, contemplate those we've lost. Send a special prayer for their families. Other voices have been lost in our family, and we miss them all. They were very special. We are saddened by the loss of 4 of our Hall of Fame members. Trudy Markle in 2013. Jill Orlander was elected in 2013. Diane Quillen was inducted in 1993. And Joe Trombetta in 2004. Softly the leaves of memory fall. Gently we gather and treasure them all. Too far away for sight or speech, but not too far for thoughts to reach. There is a day of sunny rest for every dark and troubled night, and grief may bide an evening guest, but joy shall come with morning light. In these moments of meditation, we invite you to join in silent tribute to our members who have died since we last met. No matter the role they played, each had his or her own sphere of influence and left in his or her own way an indelible impression upon their fellow bowlers, the association, and the sport of bowling. So with humble spirits and grateful hearts for the heritage those people left us, we submit this prayerful salute to those bowlers who have passed. Life's race well run, life's work well done, life's victory won, now cometh rest. Thank you for your attention. May God bless you all, and good evening.
I want to welcome everyone here tonight as the Hall of Fame chair. There's 8 very wonderful people that are very deserving tonight that are being inducted. Congratulations to all of you. Thank everyone for being here. It's an honor to just stand up here and be among all of you. I'm going to call you famous people. First, I want to introduce a special guest that we have this evening, our Midwest Regional Manager from USBC, David Prang. Okay. So our first inductee tonight, I can't say enough about this young lady. She's a very sweet lady, always got a smile on her face. Cindy Adams. She's going to be introduced by her husband, Chris, and her son, Nicholas.
Yes. Hey there, sorry. I'm Chris Adams, I'm her husband. This is Nick Adams, our son. Cindy, those that know Cindy, one know that she likes to know everything first. So she asked me what we were going to say and what we were going to talk about, because what she'll talk about, I don't know what she's going to talk about, but I'll tell you what I think she's going to talk about. She didn't tell me either. She's going to talk about the group. We have a bowling circle group, and I'll touch on that real quick in a minute. And she's going to talk about how much it's about the group, because she won't talk about herself. Excuse me. I want to touch on a couple things before she comes up, and I know it's been a long night, and I just want to touch on some things. First off, I sent a cover letter when I submitted the application. She's actually a 2020 inductee. With COVID, it didn't happen, so we were able to meet tonight. So with the cover letter, it said that she's part of the special recognition category. Although she qualifies for multiple categories, she's the photo definition of a squad leader. She does have multiple 300 games, multiple state championships, including this past year in the women's doubles. She's averaged over 200 multiple seasons. But due to a uterine cancer diagnosis in 2009, which from the time it was met with a doctor to the time there was a full hysterectomy surgery was a week. So he didn't even have time to think. So it was, we need to get it taken care of. So that, and there was nothing else after that. It was, we've got it all, everything's good. 4 years later, there's a second uterine cancer diagnosis. I'm not a doctor, but you don't have the parts, so I don't know how it works, but it was 18 months of treatments. And in April 1st of 2015, she was actually given a remission diagnosis, so great with her. But what happens is, from 2009 through she feels today, she's never met those standards of what she had before. So what we've done is, back in that 1998 type time frame, we formed a group. Actually, it started with 4 ladies from Indianapolis, one from South Bend, which was us. Unfortunately, I moved us up to South Bend. They started bowling in the women's state tournament. They bowled women's national tournaments. But by 2006, we had men and women bowling with our groups for the men's, the Open State Tournament, the Open National Tournament, the Women's National Tournament. We started going to these different tournaments, bringing groups together that orphans, so to speak, from all over the place. Last year, we have over 200 members of our tournament group, representing 18 different associations around the state of Indiana. And it's not only the, hey, here's my team, I want to bowl with you. It's, sorry, Rick, wherever Rick is, it's 25 teams for the open tournament. I mean, for the mixed tournament. It's 10 or 12 teams for the open tournament. It's 14 or 16 teams for the women's tournament, and doubles and singles and multiple team events and all kinds of things like this. So what she does for this group is everything. She, let me find where I finished here. Sorry, get lost. Since 2005, she's organized, and I don't, where's Dee? Dee, did you put all this stuff together in this handout? You stole some of my thunder. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So that's why I'm stuttering up here. If you want to know about most of it, it's in the book. It's page 8 and page 12, but that's my speech. So I'm muttering up here. Since 2005, and it's a little different in there because we're a couple years behind on the resume, she's organized over 450 teams in state tournaments. That's a lot of teams. And then add doubles to that, add singles to that, and tell Linda and Charlie and these guys that all the stuff she emails back and forth. I apologize for that. But you can thank her for it. They've competed in all of the state tournaments, formats team lineups, coordinates, completes the applications, reserves room blocks, provides detailed maps and travel plans, as we in the tournament group call it, the packet. And I think Linda's been on some of those emails and has seen that packet. It's 10, 15-page packet. People say, what are we wearing today? And the answer is, read the packet. So, and we started cornhole tournaments and impromptu stuff, but what you find out is when you get this many people together, anytime you can get 75 to 100 people together for an adult tournament, it's interesting that after bowling, and we're back at the hotel, and most of the state has been invited. Anytime we have it, they come to the potlucks and stuff. There's very little bowling conversation. It's interesting. That tells you the group's right. Whenever they get back and it's just friends talking about things, you know, but bowling is that event that brings that family together, like this event bringing this family together. That's what that's about, but it's not, you can't accept everybody. So the people we have are very protective of each other, especially of Miss Queen Bee, Cindy. But since 2000, the group's had 25 state titles, over 150 top 3 finishes in events. That's scratch, that's handicap, that's all kinds of stuff. They have won multiple state, some of the members have multiple state queens titles. A few have national top 10s to their credit, but something she does at every tournament is bring first-time participants to get them involved. And you get them involved, you have fun. If you have fun, they're gonna come back. So it doesn't matter how you bowl, it just matters who you meet, have friends, things like that. But what she's done recently, over the past few years, is get the youth involved. Nicholas, when Cindy was on the local board for the longest time, she stepped off because we had a toddler. It's not a toddler anymore. He just actually got his junior gold entry for next year already, bowling a tournament today. Thanks, Zach and his team, and you guys for putting that on today. I appreciate that. But I want Nicholas to say a minute or two, because it's not a minute or two. I don't want to take that much time. But how different bringing the youth in as a bowling circle youth group is compared to putting 100 adults in a building, roll up coolers and light up the grill. You're good for hours. You can't do that with kids. So I want him to talk just a second, and then we'll get Cindy up here.
Good evening, everybody. Some of you may have noticed I walked up a little late on stage because someone forgot to push in their chair. But yeah, my name is Nicholas Adams. I am Cindy's ruggedly handsome 16-year-old single son. And yeah, the youth group is something that's been going on for a few years. And this past year, we stayed at a hotel that really caught interest of the younger kids, because we have kids aging through 6 and 7, all the way up to kids my age and older through 17 and 18. And through that age range, they have a very different things that keep their attention and things that they're interested in. And my mom does a great job of that. The last hotel we stayed at had a pool and a basketball court. So a few of my buddies got together and kind of played a pickup game of basketball. And it's little details like that that kind of go a little unnoticed, but I notice them. It's a good touch. And it's little things like that that make her who she is. It's the fine details that really give her that extra step when it comes to what she does and how she puts things together. We're not to the packet level yet of the youth group. And the big difference between the youth group and the adults is the amount of alcohol consumption between the adults and the youth. Hopefully it stays that way. But I do believe that kind of wraps up my little speech here.
Hope so.
So I'll hand this back over to you.
Thanks, Nicholas. The special recognition category, and I know Dee put this in there, it recognizes the intangibles, the behind-the-scenes organizations, the dedication to the advancement of the sport, and makes everything have the appearance, the tournament directors would understand that, have the appearance that it's running smooth on that day. I don't know how many times tournament directors have walked up and said, Cindy, I need to see the Bible. And we turn and go, have you signed the release yet? It's a 4-inch, 3-ring binder with everyone's tournament information, everyone's sanction cards, everyone's everything. So anytime they need something, it's in the Bible. But so we'll step off and give it to her. So to introduce the 2020 Indiana State USBC Hall of Fame member, my wife,
My mom.
Cindy Adams.
I think Mom won't mind if I say this real quick. Nicholas, I just wanted to comment, when a 16-year-old, I should rephrase, a ruggedly handsome 16-year-old can get up here in front of a group and speak that well, I think our bowling's future is in really good hands, don't you? All right. Now back to Mom. So.
How can I compete with that?
One of the great things about my position with USBC is I get to be part of celebrations of great moments in our sport. And tonight, of course, is another one of those great moments that we're all celebrating together, and that's what's important. So I would like to tell you that it is my honor on behalf of the Indiana State USBC and the staff at USBC headquarters in Arlington to present you with the plaque, which I'll quickly read to you. USBC proudly recognizes Cindy Adams on being inducted into the Indiana State USBC Hall of Fame, dated last year, June 20th of 2020, signed by, of course, Kerry Kane and our then USBC President Carl Keelich, but of course, obviously, we're sorry we had to wait this long. What a great opportunity. So that, and of course, your beautiful Hall of Fame ring with your name there so we wouldn't get it wrong. There you are. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, thank you.
Pictures? And then you can talk. You want me to take
Pictures, yeah, I'll put them right up here.
Okay, he wants you to talk first, then we'll do that.
Oh, you want me to talk first?
That's what he wants.
Okay.
So, whichever way you'd rather do it. You want that
Sure.
one or you want to do it?
Actually, I talk with my hands, so
All right.
is it possible to, or lower this maybe?
Pardon me 1 second. Okay, it didn't make noise. I was worried. Is it on? It's not on. Oh, this one.
I'm not that tall. I'm just saying, I'm not that tall.
Ah, there we are. Technology, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, can you hear me okay? No, okay.
I guess we could lower that. Yep.
Linda girl, I talk with my hands, come on.
Hold the mic, pull it closer.
Too late for that. Everyone, good evening. How are you? Bye. Chris, Nicholas, thank you for your induction. How in the world can I compete with Nick? Anyway, this evening I would like to dedicate it to my parents. Sorry, I'm going to start crying. To my mother-in-law. I know they would have loved to be here with us tonight, but I know for a fact that where they are, they have really good seats, right? So I'm going to go with that. I would like to start out by thanking the Indiana State USBC, the Hall of Fame Committee, and all of you that voted for today's inductees. For me, it is an honor to be inducted with you and to join the list of Hall of Famers that we have. So thank you. Okay, family, I'm not going to introduce all of them, so not to take up any more time. Will my immediate family please stand? My immediate family. No worries, I'm not going to have you do jumping jacks or anything like that. Okay. I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for your support, especially these last few months, for a shoulder to lean on, for a shoulder to cry on, for your understanding, for your patience, for your heart. I am so blessed to have each and every one of you as my family members, and thank you so much for being here tonight. Now, you can sit down. I'm so sorry, people. I don't mean to be emotional. It just, well, my dear friends, all of them, please stand up. If you consider me a friend, please stand, because this message is for you. Every single one of you. If you know me as a friend, consider me as a friend. If we're on Facebook, we are friends, right? Right? I need to thank each and every one of you, because I'm going to have you do push-ups right now. No. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support, for your shoulder to lean on, for your shoulder to cry on, for your patience, for your understanding, and for your heart. It means so much to me, and I thank you so very much. And I'm so glad we're sharing this evening together. All right, you can all sit down now. As many of you know, or most of you know, some of you, whatever, I was blessed with a mother from Okinawa, Japan. Now, before I go any further about the island, does everybody remember the movie Karate Kid, the original movie, and Mr. Miyagi? Okay. Okinawa is a small island. It is the length of the state of Indiana, and it's in the widest point, 90 miles. That's it. The area, the village that my family, the Taida family, is from, we are, well, Ishikawa is 3 miles wide. So you have the China Sea and you have the Pacific Ocean, and that's us, right? That's our family. And Mr. Miyagi, remember how he described where it's located in our world? Does everybody remember? Okay, where he said, China here, Daniel-san. Japan here, Okinawa here, right? Okay, I know that wasn't a very good Miyagi, but bear with me. But thank you. So now that we all kind of have an idea about this beautiful island in the Pacific Ocean, my father was in the U.S. Army, career Army, and he was stationed in Okinawa, Japan, where he met my mother, his bride. And as soon as he stepped foot on the soil, he was in love with the Okinawan people, the culture, the lifestyle, the beliefs, the attitude that they have. If you were to ask him to describe the people of Okinawa, he would say that they were kind, warm-hearted, thoughtful, friendly, welcoming. And he even threw in accommodating. So I talked to Dad about that once, and I said, why accommodating? And he said, there were a lot of military bases, U.S. military bases on the island of Okinawa after World War II. A lot of U.S. soldiers. The Okinawan people spoke Japanese. They didn't speak English then, but the Okinawan people were so willing to learn English because what they wanted to do was to be accommodating and be able to communicate with the GIs. And he felt that. He felt walking off base and encountering somebody from Okinawa, he just felt wanted and appreciated. So, okay, enough of that. That kind of leads me to the home that my parents created for me, even when we moved back to the States. You know, obviously, we Americans, we have our lifestyle, we have our culture, we have our beliefs, but they brought in the Okinawan beliefs, and they felt that that was very important. My dad also thought it was very important that my mother cook her Okinawan dishes, and for those of you that know my mother, she had two loves, to cook and to feed the heck out of you. So it would not be a surprise to visit her, and then after you leave, you gain 10 pounds. That is not unusual. Recently, I was Googling, and we're just talking within the last couple days. There was an Okinawan proverb, and it is, Icha riba chode. For those of you that have that little candy ball that I gave you, it reads, Icha riba chode. Can you say it with me? Icha riba chode. It's a proverb, thousands of years old, 3,000 years old, and it means, once we have met, we are family. Once we have met and become friends, you are my brothers and sisters. Once we are friends, I will protect you, and you will protect me. The wow moment for me when I read this is, one, I never heard this phrase from my mother before, but yet how that makes me feel and that how it makes you feel is how I was raised and how I want to treat others and how I want Nicholas to learn those values. So, looking at some of your faces, you're probably going, okay, what does this Okinawa geography, history lesson has to do with the bowling and the Hall of Fame? So I will give you this. The best of our bowling circle started out with just bowlers that wanted to bowl tournaments for a weekend. We said, okay, you look like a fun person that we want to spend 2.5 days with, so yeah, why don't you come on and we'll form a team. Team led to teams. And then through the years, it has become more than that. It has become something even greater than I ever imagined. Without knowing it, this Okinawan proverb landed in U.S. soil. It invaded Indiana, and it truly infested the best of our bowling circle. Because not a doubt, any member that has bowled with us is family. Icha Riba Chode. I was 12 when I started bowling. Actually, truth be told, my parents signed me up for Saturday morning bowling, and being 12, y'all remember those days where all you wanted to do at 12 was stay at home and sleep in on a Saturday morning. But my dad had other ideas. He wanted me to get up at 7 and be at the bowling center at 8:30, and it's like, Dad, I don't know how to bowl. But by the time that season was over, I was hooked. That bowling love bug hit me, and I was in love. But it's not about the 10 frames. It's not about that. It is about the people that we meet on the lanes, off the lanes. It is about our friendships. It's about our relationships. Perfect example, I met my husband, Chris, at Woodland Bowl here in Indianapolis. And last week, we celebrated our 34th wedding anniversary. Thank you. Thank you. But the ripple effect of that, of our union, is looking at who we have in our lives, who I have in our lives, because of him, through him, and with him. So bowling is more than just bowling. It is about togetherness. It is about the Icha Riba Chode. You guys gonna remember that today? Icha Riba Chode. So I leave you with one last thing. Young people, and I'm gonna stare at my son. And I know you've heard this over and over again, and I know that Brian would probably stand up here and preach with me. In order for this sport to grow, to evolve, the youth needs to get involved. It needs to involve your ideas, your direction. It needs to be with your leadership. You cannot be afraid to give ideas, to give opinions, because I tell you now, the bowling circle was an idea at one time, and look where we are now. And, you know, it's not just on you, buddy. It's on the rest of us, too. It is up to each and every one of us in order for this to succeed, in order to see our memberships grow in the league level, in the association levels, local, state, national. We all need to get involved. We all need to find that one person that we can bring into the game. And again, not just to show them how to bowl, but to make them feel the Icha Riba Chode, right? Make them feel as though that they're family. So I leave you with this. Watashi wa anata o aishite imasu. And in Japanese, that means, I love you, and I love all of you. So, domo arigatou gozaimasu.
I have some more honors for Cindy. St. Joe Valley, would you come forward, please?
name's Kevin Coops. I'm the president of St. Joe Valley USBC Association. Last year when Cindy was inducted, or when she knew she was going to be inducted, we gave her an award, and it mostly came from the ladies because they're kind of foo-foo and they give nice gifts. So today, on the way down, we didn't want to come empty-handed, Cindy. So the boys, Mike Reveal, the vice president, and I, we decided we were going to stop and buy a bunch of candy because this is what Cindy's noted for in all of our tournaments. She brings candy to everything. So Cindy, on behalf of St. Joe Valley, we couldn't come empty-handed.
Thank you.
Cindy, don't go anywhere.
Oh, yes. Y'all, I have candy.
We have the husband and the handsome son.
Oh.
Ruggedly handsome son.
He added ruggedly handsome and single. On behalf of the bowling circles, 200 plus members, and a very secret emails and texting back and forth without you noticing, gift for you. Congratulations.
Open it. Do we have time for that? Okay, if it's okay. You are pushy, dude.
There's only 7 more people.
I'm so sorry, y'all. Hurry. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Can you see it?
For those of you who can't see it, it is a bowling pendant on a necklace for her with
pearl.
a bowling pin and a pearl to represent how important she is to all of the people in the group that she has made over the years, and to the friends and family, and how she brings them all together for weekends at a time. I just want to let you know how special you are to so many people, Mom.
Turn the pendant over. Oh. I'm like, what's behind me? I don't know. I'm trying. Hold
Gotta
on.
get it out first.
I'm trying. My old eyes cannot read that, dear. I know it says something.
It reads, Indiana USBC Hall of Fame, Class of 2020, Cindy Adams.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, everyone.
All right, it's my pleasure and honor this evening to start the introduction for our next inductee. This gentleman I've been a friend with for a number of years, so it's an honor to be a part of his induction this evening. That's Mr. Corky Koch. This time I'd like to introduce his friend to do the introductions for him. Mr. Rich Merrifield would come up, please. Rich.
They said this one's working. Oh, both. All right. Thank you. All right. I think my voice is a little bit louder, so we shouldn't have trouble hearing me. I apologize before I get started that I was supposed to have someone standing behind me here tonight. He was going to be my interpreter. And so, yeah, it may be off a little bit. Clement J. Corky Koch, nominated for service. Meritorious service. Like most people known by one name, Tiger, Phil, Michael, Prince, Symbol Prince, when you say the name Corky in this room, there's not one person that doesn't know who you're talking about, without any second thoughts. When I was asked to do this, I was touched that my friend would think that much of me. And then in typical Corky style, 30 seconds later, he said, "You were my second choice." Not wanting me to get a big head, obviously, he's always thinking of others. His list of accomplishments in service to others are long. 1886 to 1889, sorry. It just seems like that long. 1986 to 1989, served as the director of Plainfield. 1994 to 1997, director GIBA. 2007-2006, GIBA secretary and treasurer. 1998 to current, serves as a member of the Indiana-Kentucky State Tournament and is currently the tournament manager. That reminds me of my favorite YouTube video. It's a video of Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods staying on the first tee. Tiger's getting ready to tee off. And the starter is reading off a list of wins of Tiger Woods. After about the fifth win, Phil Mickelson chimes in and says, all right. 2006 to current, association manager, Indiana, or Indy USBC. 2005, 2009, 2010, 2012, 2016, 2020, the point person for the Open Youth Tournament and Junior Gold National events, which explains why his golf game gets worse in every even number year. 2018 to current, serving as the Indiana State USBC Regional Youth Director for the Southeast region of Indiana. During his over 30 years of service, Corky's held 24 different positions, and some of them concurrently, which means at the same time, Corky. So. It seems like it's been a full-time job just keeping you employed. So, some of his honors. 1997, GIBA Director of the Year. 2005, Central Indiana Bowling Proprietors Kingpin of the Year. 2006, Indiana Women's Bowling Association Presidential Citation. 2009, USBC Special Recognition and Appreciation Award for work done with the youth and junior gold tournaments. 2017, Indiana WBA Special Recognition. Corky has always focused on the youth bowler. Somehow during all of this, he managed to actually bowl. With a high game in series of 290, 748, and 1994. During all of this, Bonnie kept him around for over 41 years. Without hurting him, at least I think. So, if Bonnie hadn't been a saint and a bowler herself, well, who knows? I'm sure that even before the young man before us was known as Corky, he was already figuring out ways to serve others. And although I was his second choice, I'm just delighted to be on the list for a very special man. Ladies and gentlemen, man and madams, Frau and Fräuleins, Senor and Senoras, Corky.
And while he's coming up here, I'll let you know that everybody at USBC headquarters also knows who Corky is. So, and that's not a bad thing, I can assure you there. My friend, congratulations to you, and again, my honor on behalf of the Indiana State USBC and the staff at USBC headquarters. Again, USBC proudly recognizes Clement Corky Koch as being inducted into the Indiana State USBC Hall of Fame, again, June 20th, 2020, signed by Kerry and Carl Keelich for you, and of course, your Hall of Fame ring, sir. Congratulations, and if you would like me to hold those, I believe they would like to hear from you.
All right. Guess what I did today? Rich made me use that tee half the time when we were teeing off, so bear with me just a second. I have my notes on my phone. And Zach, it is on. Don't break it. I didn't bring a laptop. Okay. Jerry, where's Jerry? Jerry, it's on silent too. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I do really appreciate everybody coming. And I want to congratulate the past Hall of Famers and the current inductees. I added up a few minutes ago, since 1994, since I started with the Greater Indianapolis Bowling Association, GIBA, I have been associated with at least 100 of the Hall of Fame members since 1994. We have become good friends. And I don't think that there is a table in this room that I don't know somebody, and I have a lot of friends at these tables, like Tommy Baxter, like Kerry, my counterpart over here, my nemesis, Mr. Brian Petrie. Brian is, I'm his right-hand man, or left-hand man, or middle man. We get to run the youth state tournament every year, and I look forward to doing that. I'd like to introduce my three tables this evening. I can't get by without these three tables. These are very, very dear friends. The first table, of course, my great wife, Bonnie, my brother and sister-in-law, Chris and Kathy Koch, my newlywed, where's my daughter at? Where'd she go? Oh, she's behind me, okay. Shanna and Brenda Barker, our dear former neighbors, Matt and Debbie Ferguson. At my other table, of course, Rich and my other golfing buddy, bowling buddy. We do just about everything together at least once a week. Mike Jeffers, my mixed team members, Tom and Tika Vest, Debbie Vickery, Debbie's mom, Betty. Thank you for coming. I forgot Maria, Rich's wife. I get to see her quite often, so I'm glad that Rich got to bring her. My other table, another one of my teammates, John Solomon Jr. We've been friends for years. We were on the GIBA board together. My nephew and his wife, Pete and Mindy Williams. And I'm sorry to say, the last two people that I want to really recognize are going to be a loss for the bowling industry. Mike and Jean Diener had owned Sunshine Bowl for about the last 5 years. They really made a lot of friends at Sunshine Bowl, and we're really going to miss them in the bowling community, but Mike's still going to be one of my teammates on Tuesday, and I'll get to see Jean. So thank you, three tables, for coming. Now, like Cindy, I am a member, proud member of the bowling circle. Again, something that Cindy and Chris and I they got me involved a couple of years ago, and I love it dearly. I have one other person that I can think of right now that I want to make mention of the fact. I am still a high school coach. I coach Cardinal Ritter High School, and one of my assistant coaches is here tonight, Miss D. Duff. Last but not least are my friends from the Indy Association. Janice Wozniak had been president my last couple of years with the association. I retired from the Indy Association in December of 2019. There's not a day that goes by that either they call me or I call them offering help. I still help them quite a bit. Also, my two other favorite youth coaches, I will be joining them this year at Brownsburg Bowl, Rich and Eileen Sorolla, who are also some state, have been state tournament directors also. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Like Rich said, I'm not much of a bowler anymore. I enjoy bowling, but my passion is youth bowling. I beat Brian to the tournament site every day except for the first day of the tournament because I want to make sure he's ready to go, okay? So I don't think there's going to be a day that goes by that Brian and I don't have some involvement with the Indiana State Youth Open Championship, the Masters and Queens. I was a former Masters and Queens director like Rich, Brian. I don't know why I keep wanting to call you Rich. I'm not going to call you late for dinner. Okay. What is it? Call him baby. Baby, okay. And then the Indiana-Kentucky All-Stars, which we did again this year. We brought back the traveling trophy. I think we've only lost it about 4 times. So Brian has been helping me quite a bit with that. I don't have anything else to say except, again, thank you very much. I have friends from South Bend. I have friends from the Calumet area. Indy friends, my bowling family, circle family. Oh, I forgot Churubusco, Columbia City friends. Like I said, I don't think there's a group that I don't have any involvement with here in this room. The other Indy friends down here, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate this honor. The one thing that I do miss, and I want to make mention of the fact, is my mentor as far as the youth tournaments go, George Webb. We lost him over a year ago. I miss him every day. So thank you very much. I appreciate the honor.
Cardinal Ritter team. Inside it's engraved.
You want me to open it up?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not from the Cardinal Ritter team, that's from your family.
You think I'm a lush?
It says USBC Bowling Hall of Fame 2020. And it has something inside of it for you to enjoy.
Okay.
And then there's another one.
My passion at home. Brian, you want to help me?
I'll let you in on the joke with Brian tonight. Brian left to go with the high school state finals. He left me in charge. Well, we had a coach come in, and he hadn't participated the way we had asked him to, sending us all his changes prior to. So here I am, really quick, trying to get all of his changes, and there were quite a bit, done before we could floor the squad. As I was leaving with the laptop to go to the counter, and this is at Arrowhead Bowl, Gary and everybody from Arrowhead Bowl, Tom, thank you for coming. As I was going up to the counter, no, it was the chair that tripped me. I dropped the laptop and broke the laptop, and I thought we were done for the weekend, but luckily all we dropped broke were the screen. But this is I have a Stein collection at home, so this will be added to my Stein collection.
Our next inductee for this evening will be introduced by Jeff Circle. Our next inductee into the Hall of Fame, Steve Lang. No.
Uh-oh, they're out of control already down here. I got a surprise on like Monday. I looked down and I got a call from Steve Lang, and I'm like, hello? Hey, can you introduce me at the Hall of Fame? So now I've got to try to figure out what I'm going to say to introduce him. Having been to several of these Hall of Fame things, we hear stories and jokes and lists of achievements and everything, and I don't want to do that this evening and try to keep it brief, but who could forget those team challenge trips? You know, the one where they had the defective handicapped parking sign? Oh yeah, that was right after we missed the cut by 8 pins, and I think, something happened to it. Or the St. Louis trip that we had to stop to get something in Terre Haute, and apparently the van had a big old target on it. And here comes a big black Ram truck backing up full speed right into the front of us as we're sitting there in front of Target. And nobody got hurt but the van. He did end up winning one of those team challenges and then went to the national finals in Vegas. His teams competing at the USBC Nationals have finished in the top 10 4 different times. He's got 3 PBA regionals. He's got 7 titles, including a trip where it took us longer to get to Evansville than it did to get back from Baton Rouge the week before. I think there are 72 Toys R Us and stores like that between Indianapolis and Evansville. He probably has the full count. He's got at least 10 city titles, 300 games at the USBC National Tournament and a PBA event, and about 25 more. He's got 10 800s, including an 857 bowled on a Wednesday night that was the city record at that time. And he's long overdue for this. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Lang.
All right, continuing here, Steve, again, my honor on behalf of the Indiana State USBC and the staff at USBC headquarters in Arlington to present you with this Hall of Fame plaque. Again, USBC proudly recognizes Steve Lang on being inducted into the Indiana State USBC Hall of Fame, dated June 20th, 2020, and of course, your Hall of Fame ring. Congratulations. will let you, thank you. You may speak, I'll hold that for you. How's that sound?
You want me to use this one? All right, like Corky, I've got mine on my phone. First, I'd like to congratulate all the inductees tonight. I would like to say thanks to all that helped me along the way on this incredible bowling journey. I am truly blessed to have bowled with some of the great bowlers and even greater people. If you surround yourself with good people, good things will happen. I'd also like to thank my family for all the support. My daughter Kayla for understanding why her dad was always seemed to be bowling on her birthday every year. I'd also like to thank some of my teammates that are here tonight. John Barley, Jeff Circle, Mark Hunt, Jerry Hindle for giving me a job. Mark Sullivan, which is not here, he left me here, on my own tonight. He called me this afternoon and said, "You're on your own, buddy." I'm like, "Thanks." Okay, if I missed someone, please know that I'm always grateful for your friendship and help. I would like to say hi to the guys from Lafayette back there. Dave Hurd, I saw you. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but Aaron, thank you. Gary, I didn't even see you there. I'm sorry, Steve Hartman. Everybody here tonight, bowling has been probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It never changed anything that I've done along the years. Met a lot of good people, met a lot of even better friends. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for this award, and good night. Mic drop.
All right, from one fine gentleman to another fine gentleman. Our next inductee is a very close friend of mine, Mr. Rick Schultz. Rick's currently my assistant association manager for the Indiana State, and I'll tell you, this man does a lot of work for the state of association. He has been a tournament manager for a number of years. I can pick up a phone and call this gentleman and get some help, and it's going to be done right and it's going to be done quick. So I can't give my thanks enough. I know Charlie and I worked together on turning in his resume for him, and Charlie and I have both discussed about doing the introduction, and I think Charlie's happy to and looking forward to introducing our next Hall of Fame inductee, Rick Schultz. Charlie, Mr. Charlie Wilkie, please.
I thought you were doing this.
Whatever you want to do.
Hi, Rick. Does anybody know that Rick's been bowling for over 58 years? I know, but you've been bowling over 58 years. Some of his accomplishments: he has served 8 years as the assistant state tournament manager. He was served as 6 years as our Open Championship tournament manager. During that time, he was able to impact over 60,000 bowlers that came through that 6 years. He's been my mentor. He's been a mentor to a number of people that's sitting in this room. He currently serves the bowlers in the state of Indiana as the assistant association manager. Rick's dedicated most of his adult life to the bowlers of the state of Indiana. It is my great honor and privilege to present my friend, Richard P. Schultz, Indiana State USBC Hall of Famer.
You want to talk first, or you want to do this?
No, I'll do this.
We'll do this? Okay, I'll need to borrow that 1 second.
No, he gave it to me.
All right, you talk. Rick could do this without my help, it's all right. So, again, Rick, my honor to present to you on behalf of the Indiana State USBC Hall of Fame and the staff at USBC headquarters, your Hall of Fame plaque saying USBC proudly recognizes Richard Rick Schultz on being inducted into the Indiana State USBC Hall of Fame, dated June 20th, 2020, and of course, your Hall of Fame ring. Would you like to use this or that? Use this, and we'll get pictures.
Thank you all. Boy, it's been a pleasure. Been waiting a year for this. I just can't believe it. It's really happened to me. I started out in Wayne County, Indiana. I was on the board of directors, worked my way up through the president. Then I became the assistant executive director at that time through ABC. Then I was the executive director. Then I worked through USBC, and they hired me back as the association manager. And then again, they merged, and I was again elected as their association manager. I give that job up in 2013. I give it to my good friend, Linda Isaacs, and she has been their association manager since. As Charlie alluded, I became the assistant tournament manager for the Indiana State BA under my mentor, Larry Owens. He's a great friend, great person. He was a great tournament manager himself. He decided to retire in 2015, and I took it over. Up until last year of 2020, I retired because of my health. As you can see, I struggled coming up here. But I've met a lot of friends being tournament manager. I've talked to a lot of people in this room. It's been a pleasure to service you people for the state of Indiana. There's some friends here I'd like to introduce. My camping friends that we go camping with every weekend. We both have permanent spots at a campground. Kathy and Kenny Butler, great friends. Also, I have my daughter, Amanda Johnson, my two grandkids, Samuel and Abigail. Abigail, I tried to get her to come up here with me, but she wouldn't do it. She's my date for tonight, but she says she's not marrying me. She's my pride and joy. And this next young lady that I'm going to introduce, most of you that's been going to the tournaments know her as the young lady at the team house that would always take your money at the bracket table. Sometimes she would give it back, sometimes she'd keep it. My lovely wife, in, I believe it is 18 days, 48 years, Amy. Couple of other mentors that I'd like to announce. The late Dan Kappa. That man taught me a lot. He helped me along. He was so good to me. He helped me through the tournaments every year. And another gentleman sitting over here, Mr. Tommy Baxter. Learned a lot from Tommy. First thing he told us when we was young directors in Wayne County, he says, always carry a pad and a pencil. You're the director, you're the people they come to if they have a question and you don't know the answer. Write down the question. That way you can get an answer for them and get it back to them. And to this day, I carry a pad and a pencil to write down anything that somebody asks me that I can't answer, and I'll get them an answer. Thank you very much.